All right, you got me. I'm making another one. This is 5 more of the worst car guys out there. And I know that sounds pretty bad. It's really just because I think it's fun to talk about it all. I even just went to my first Cars and Coffee of the season with my group, and like every other time we've gone, we all walked into it like,
hot diggity dog. This place is magnificent.
So without further ado, here are this video's contenders. Let's get into it. If you haven't seen my other worst or best car guy videos, check those out and let me know what new videos you want to see. You want car list videos? Done. You want me to plunge my nipples and show you how to properly entertain party guests? God damn it, maybe that'll be the next one. That is so weird out of context. Either way, let me know what you want to see. Also, put your best or worst car guy encounters in the comments, and don't forget, these are just for poking fun and I don't actually hate any of these people. In most cases. Now, without further ado, the first one for this list is street takeover crowds. We've all seen those videos on Instagram of some intersection filled with people blocking everyone else who just went to work for the day and want to get home and relax, but are now stuck in their car watching some Dodge Charger do donuts while everyone else screams for really no reason. I may get some hate for this, but these are not cool. They're cringy. Any of these could have been done in some empty parking lot somewhere, and if it was, it could probably last longer and there'd be more room. I'd guess 60% of why people think this is so cool is just because it pisses off other people, but what's really the point of that? The donuts are going to be cut that much shorter because cops are going to be called. It's probably harder to coordinate. I'm assuming there are some pretty hefty fines or some jail time from these, and as most people point out, it just makes people dislike car people more. And like I said, these could all be done at some out-of-the-way place, and it would make way more sense and be cooler, but even still, I won't even start on people getting as close as possible to a donuting car thinking, that 4,000-pound hunk of metal's moving pretty quick, but if I stand 3 feet away from it instead of 10 feet, now that would make a sick video I could show to my grandmother and everybody else for some big old clout.
You are dumb, and you are stupid.
Next is people who do some real stupid shit to run from the cops instead of just paying a ticket. This one comes from a video I saw last year, but I've always thought trying to run from the cops was kind of just lame, even despite someone I knew in college always trying to brag about escaping them in his G37. Wow, this video probably seems like it's starting a little more aggressive than the others. Things will cool way off after the last one and this one, but anyway, every article written about this guy is how he went into ghost mode as he sped away from a cop who probably wanted to just pull him over for going way too fast. But after giving the cop enough time to see his plate, have a cup of coffee, make another cup of coffee and drink that too, then write down this guy's plate number in elegant calligraphy. I don't know how he didn't put together that they'll just show up at his house within a week if he does get away. And through rewatching this one, I found a video of another car trying to do the same stupid thing. And even in this case, this car was a pre-2014 Dodge Charger, and it was white. Instead of getting to go home, go to bed, and get screwed the next morning, this guy didn't even get that. Him trying to get away turns into a 5-minute chase where he eventually seems to give up, which I guess was nice of him. As he slows down though, he ends up getting hit with a little pit maneuver. And as they're waiting for more backup, the cop asks, "Why were you driving like that?" Most likely referencing him going off-road on the wrong side of the road towards oncoming traffic and through red lights during the car chase. And the driver responds with, "I don't know, we were just driving around," as if this is some routine, "Hey, you were going a little too fast, champ" type of incident. The whole thing in both cases was a really stupid idea, but really? A white Charger? Now getting into the way lighter stuff, third are people who put 1,000 or 1,234 as a car price on Facebook Marketplace when that's nowhere near the actual amount they want. And we'll throw in dealerships who list the same car 20 times with a down payment as the cost, because why not? This type of thing has let my intrusive thoughts take full control a few more times than I'd like to admit, where I've messaged dealerships on Marketplace telling them I'll pay their $1,000 asking price for a mint C7 Stingray. And to that dealership who I messaged, "You know what, buddy? You probably thought I was some 10-year-old kid when you asked me how old I was, but I knew the whole time you didn't only want $1,000 for that C7.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Damn, girl, what you saying? What you saying, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I've only done it with dealerships a few times because at least that worker gets paid to deal with my bullshit. I feel bad doing it to private sellers even though they could just as easily put the actual price that they want in the listing, and it would just make it easier for buyers and wouldn't mess with the filters. And none of that includes when dealers list the same thing 50 times, as if it doesn't just make it seem like a scam to everyone. Now, remember a few seconds ago when I said I haven't messaged individual sellers to mess with them for what they put a price as? Well, that's not always true when people lie about what they're selling, which brings us to the fourth person for the list. This specific example came from a time I saw a Dodge Challenger Hellcat for sale from 2010. From the pictures, you might just think I'm talking about the badge, but no. At the time, the listing said it was a Hellcat for sale, so I kind of couldn't resist. Wanting to see if this guy made a mistake, was a jerk, or was just having some weird fun with it, I decided to waste some of my time asking him about it. I tried to keep it subtle at first while still trying to see if he was fine with me thinking it was a Hellcat. I started by mentioning I've been wanting a 2012, which also doesn't make sense, then asking if there were problems with the supercharger, which didn't raise any type of issues for him apparently. Eventually, I got more straightforward with my questions, which quickly resulted in me getting ignored, so sadly, I missed out on buying the cheapest Hellcat ever. I feel like some people could feel slightly different about this. It could be stupid for him to have the badge on and stupid to ignore the fact that it's not a Hellcat. The badge could be no big deal, but it's just as stupid for him to try to sell it like it's a Hellcat. Or it could just be funny or completely any buyer's fault if they decided to buy it from him. I don't think the badge was the end of the world, even though it's a little odd to me to up-badge a car like this, and buyers should know what they're buying, but this guy shouldn't have listed it as a Hellcat, and if anyone messaged him, I think he should have been flat out about what it really was. And yes, I'll admit it was pointless and a little immature of me to even message him about it, but you know what?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Fifth is one a surprising amount of people have mentioned to me, and it's the people who are always nagging to race. Even as I was prepping this video, someone commented about it. The worst one I've read was about a guy with a GTR who chased down this guy all the time, pulling U-turns and nagging him to race even in the middle of busy traffic, while it's raining, or just for show in front of big crowds. It very much just sounds like this dude and most of the people I read about from you guys just don't know when they're doing way too much and are trying to go past that comfort level that they're at with other people. It seems like whether they've got a slow car or a fast one, their main priority is just making a scene, which usually involves doing some dumb stuff that puts other drivers in danger for no reason. I've said this about doing pulls, donuts, or trying to get your tires spinning. If you're gonna do something stupid, do it in a smart way. Usually that involves a completely empty parking lot or small strip on the highway or a racetrack where real racing should happen. I've always been all for short highway pulls, stop sign pulls, or revving out your engine while accelerating as long as you're not going way above the speed limit, holding those high speeds to cruise or turn, or being obnoxious with how much sound you're making for more than a second or two. But other than that, it's really easy to cross into the line of Stupidville when you're around other cars in traffic. Let me know in the comments what your worst or funniest car guy encounters were and if they were worse than any of these. I've also got a few of the next videos lined up, but if you've got a video you want to see, I'm always all ears. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day.